Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. The biggest issue in my office is housing, and it's an issue that every member in this chamber today has commented on. Any member in this chamber who works within their constituency, works hard in their constituency, will be aware of the fact that social housing is a nightmare when it comes to the allocation and provision. Getting people housed and rehoused is a real quagmire, very hard to negotiate. And as good as the executive staff are, and they are good, and the housing associations as well, there's only so much time that can be done at that level. However, there is something that can be done, and I believe must be done, at the ministerial level, and I'm talking about the Minister for Social Development. I recently wrote to the Minister to express concern over the reduction of grants money that have been allocated to housing executives in the province, and in particular to the arts housing section, because that's one of the issues obviously I have an issue with. I'm urging the Minister to ensure that the 1,500 new homes for this year are provided, which means that Strangford, the area that I represent, with almost 3,000 on the waiting list, well above the Northern Ireland average, gets its fair share of social housing. There is a priority need in the Ards at almost 1,700 and some 900 on the ordinary list, and this clearly shows that social housing in the Ards continues to grow, indeed such as the growth that it would take over 300 new builds in this year alone just to address the present housing needs of those who come on the list. Stephen Graham, the area manager, and a real gentleman, a hard worker and a good manager, and this year has indicated there were about 200 to be built with all the different housing associations. We have them, we know who they are, the BIH, Habentide, Clonmel, etc., Conswater and so on. And this is in this year and in the next financial year. However, all of this is done with this clause subject to funding, which has come to mean it is unlikely that some of those will be built, and that's one of the concerns obviously we have. There's always a shortfall of funding, which I can't understand sometimes why that is, when in each of the money grounds DSD has been allocated more and more funding. There must be a turnaround in the way that things are done in the housing executive, and this must come from the top and work its way down. Certainly give way, yes, absolutely.
My friend will have noticed that I incurred the wrath of the previous Speaker, Deputy Speaker. Would he agree with me that in order to meet that real need that there is out there, that to believe that we can do that via the current system is wrong, and that whenever we're facing a very challenging economic environment and resource environment that we are, that new and innovative ways of delivering social housing and financing social housing in Northern Ireland is needed. And that's why we do need to take a fresh and independent look at how we do this in the future and not continue to do what we've always done, which hasn't worked.